To explore the theme, Narcissus Reimagined, Reflection of Self in Society's Mirror, we begin with an introduction to understanding narcissism in a contemporary context. Narcissism traditionally conjures images of excessive self-love, originating from the Greek myth of Narcissus, who fell in love with his reflection. In today's world, the concept has evolved to encompass a broader spectrum of behaviors linked to self-obsession and self-promotion, particularly amplified by the pervasive influence of social media. In psychological terms, narcissism includes traits like grandiosity, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. This understanding is crucial as we dissect how society shapes and reflects our self-perception. In contemporary culture, individual identity is often mirrored back by societal feedback via digital platforms, where likes and shares fuel self-image and self-worth. This interplay between individual narcissism and societal reinforcement can have profound effects on social dynamics and personal well-being. A prominent example is the rise of influencer culture. Influencers curate idealized personas to attract followers and monetize their online presence, their identities tied to the validation they receive. Another instance is the trend of selfie culture, where people document their lives with curated images, constantly seeking peer approval. Both these phenomena illustrate our society's preoccupation with self-image projected in public domains. Support for the importance of understanding modern narcissism comes from psychologists like Dr. Jean Twenger, who argues that narcissistic traits have increased in younger generations, potentially due to digital-era influences. However, it's important to consider alternative opinions. Critics argue that labeling behaviors as narcissistic oversimplifies the complex ways people engage with technology and social identity. Challenges arise in distinguishing between healthy self-esteem and pathological narcissism, as the overuse of the term can stigmatize confidence and ambition. Furthermore, the portrayal of narcissism could be seen as a cultural scapegoat for broader societal issues, such as insecurity and economic instability. Understanding narcissism in this context helps us explore its pervasive influence across other dimensions of our main topic. It sets the stage for examining how society's mirror not only reflects but actively constructs identities, influencing our perceptions of self and others. As we delve deeper into the narrative of Narcissus Reimagined, we analyze how introspection, social interaction, and personal growth are negotiated in a world increasingly obsessed with the surface image. This introduction frames our exploration of the nuanced and multifaceted relationship between the individual self and societal reflection in today's media-driven world. Narcissus Reimagined, Reflection of Self in Society's Mirror, subscribe to channel, suggests a contemporary reinterpretation of the myth of Narcissus, emphasizing how individuals perceive and construct their identities through societal feedback, particularly on digital platforms like social media. Traditionally, the tale of Narcissus warns against excessive self-love, symbolized by his fixation on his own reflection. In today's context, this reflection isn't just literal, but also metaphorical, representing how individuals shape their self-images based on society's responses, much of which occur online. The significance of this concept lies in its exploration of identity formation in the digital age. Social media platforms have become mirrors where not only personal reflections are displayed, but they are also judged, compared, and edited according to societal standards. This has profound implications for individual self-esteem, mental health, and the way self-worth is perceived, making it a critical point of discussion in understanding modern identity. Consider the thriving culture of influencers, where personal brands are meticulously crafted to garner likes, shares, and follows. This scenario exemplifies society's mirror, where feedback loops influence behavior, and self-image often becomes contingent on external validation. Another example is the rise of cosmetic surgery, fueled by the desire to match social media filters, a literal reshaping of self to meet perceived societal ideals. Supporters argue that these digital reflections can foster self-expression and community building, offering individuals a platform to connect over shared interests and values. Conversely, critics point out the risks of narcissism and inauthenticity, where self-worth becomes pegged to virtual approval rather than intrinsic values. The fear is that constant exposure to idealized lives and bodies can distort self-esteem and augment anxiety or depression. One challenge posed is the potential erosion of genuine self-worth, supplanted by a manufactured image that aligns with societal expectations. Controversially, some argue that society's mirror reflects the democratization of fame and influence, offering opportunities for underrepresented voices to gain visibility. However, this also raises concerns about privacy invasion and the psychological impacts of constant performance and judgment. This dynamic relationship between self and societal reflection connects to broader topics such as digital ethics, mental health, and media literacy. As society increasingly interacts through digital mediums, understanding this interplay is crucial in navigating the complexities of identity in a technologically interconnected world. Such reflections continue to influence how individuals see themselves and interact within the community, shaping the broader cultural and social fabric. The concept introduced by the heading, "The Evolution of Narcissism from Myth to Modernity," encapsulates the transformation and adaptation of narcissism from its mythological roots in ancient Greece to its manifestations in contemporary society. Narcissism, originating from the myth of Narcissus, a young man who fell in love with his own reflection, has evolved to represent a broader psychological phenomenon characterized by excessive self-focus, a need for admiration, and often a lack of empathy for others. Understanding this evolution is crucial as it serves as a reflection of how societal trends and cultural dynamics shape the individual's perception of self within the social mirror. This concept holds significant relevance to the central theme of Narcissus Reimagined, reflection of self in society's mirror, because it provides a historical context that enriches the current narrative surrounding self-perception and identity in modern society. A real-world example of modern narcissism can be seen in the rise of social media platforms, where individuals often curate an idealized version of themselves, seeking validation through likes and followers. This digital reflection exacerbates narcissistic traits, encouraging a culture where external validation becomes integral to personal identity. Another example is the corporate world, where narcissistic leadership traits, such as a charismatic but self-centered approach, might result in short-term success while causing long-term organizational issues, as seen in notable corporate downfalls. Supporting opinions suggest that some degree of narcissism can be healthy, fostering self-confidence and personal achievement. Psychologist Dr. Craig Malkin, for instance, highlights how a balanced narcissism can drive ambition and perseverance. However, challenges arise in distinguishing between healthy self-regard and pathological narcissism, with critics arguing that societal emphasis on self-promotion may aggravate narcissistic tendencies, leading to mental health issues. Controversies abound regarding whether modern technology fuels narcissism or merely provides a new avenue for its expression. Some argue that the digital age merely reflects pre-existing societal values rather than creating them. Others raise ethical concerns about privacy and authenticity in media portrayal, questioning whether society is cultivating a culture of superficial connection. This point weaves seamlessly into the broader exploration of Narcissus Reimagined by highlighting the shifting paradigms of self-perception through time. It influences discussions on the societal mirror, encouraging audiences to critically analyze how modern innovations and cultural shifts continuously redefine the narratives of narcissism and identity within our communities. Ultimately, it challenges us to reflect on the implications of these changes on both individual and collective levels. The heading, Narcissus Reimagined, Reflection of Self in Society's Mirror, subscribe to channel, captures the evolving dynamics of self-perception and identity formation in the digital age. This concept reinterprets the myth of Narcissus, the character enchanted by his own reflection, within the modern context of digital platforms and social media. Here, society's mirror refers to the digital and social platforms that allow individuals to project and cultivate their identities through curated images and narratives, often seeking validation from the audience or subscribers. This reflection of self in society's mirror is significant because it underscores the growing influence of online personas on individual self-esteem and societal norms. In our media-immersive culture, online interactions can significantly affect how individuals perceive themselves and their worth, thus impacting mental health, social behavior, and identity formation. A pertinent example includes Instagram influencers who construct idealized versions of their lives to gain followers and likes, fostering an environment where worth is often linked to social media engagement. Similarly, platforms like YouTube offer creators a space to project nuanced reflections of self, shaping public perception and gaining influence, akin to a modern-day Narcissus whose reflection wields power over societal trends and personal validation. Opinions supporting this idea often cite the democratization of media and the empowerment it affords individuals to control their narratives and impact societal norms. Many argue this allows marginalized voices to gain visibility and challenge conventional stereotypes, reshaping societal perceptions to be more inclusive. However, controversies arise regarding the authenticity of these online personas and the potential for addictive behaviors and mental health issues, such as anxiety and depression, linked to the pursuit of digital validation. Critics suggest this pursuit can distort one's sense of self, reliant too heavily on external approval rather than internal value. This concept intricately connects to broader discussions about the main topic of self-identity in the digital era. The way people perceive their reflection in society's mirror can influence cultural dynamics, shifting ideals of beauty, success, and authenticity. It emphasizes an ongoing tension between individual identity formation and societal expectations, exploring how personal narratives influence and are influenced by collective digital consciousness. Understanding this interplay encourages more critical engagement with digital content and promotes healthier relationships with technology as a tool for self-expression.